during the tenure of his presidency. The former president was summoned to the CID yesterday to record a statement relating to an investigation commenced by the CID. The attorneys representing Ranil Wickremesinghe have requested bail when he was produced before the Colombo Magistrates Court after the arrest. The bail application was considered by Colombo Fort Magistrate Nilupalli Lankapura. Additional Solicitor General Dilip Piris, representing the CID, told before the judiciary that charges will be filed against Ranil Wickremesinghe under the Public Property Act. He has requested to place him under detention as inquiries have not yet been concluded. The Solicitor General has further told the courts that inquiries have commenced regarding the suspect, former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, over spending 16.6 million rupees of government funds for a private visit in Britain on the 22nd and 23rd of September 2023. President's Counsel Anuja Premaratne, appearing on behalf of Ranil Wickremesinghe, said a report issued by the National Audit Office had presented facts regarding this tour and added that no irregularities had been committed in this regard. Therefore, he has requested to grant bail to his client, the former president. The magistrate, upon consideration of the facts presented by both parties, said it has become apparent that a private visit was the issue for the filing of the case. The magistrate's declaration has also pointed out that the attorney of the suspect had not rejected the fact that public funds were used by the suspect in the tour. The magistrate has further stated that in the presentation of charges under the Public Property Act, bail could be granted only in the instances of the disclosure of abnormal issues. She further said as such unusual facts were not disclosed with regard to the bail application of the suspect, there was no possibility to grant bail for him. Accordingly, the magistrate has ordered to remand the suspect until the 26th. The magistrate has instructed to provide the necessary security and medical treatment for the suspect in the prison. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa and former President Mahendran Rajapaksa had arrived in the prison this morning to meet former President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Former President Ranil Wickremesinghe was transferred to the prison hospital from detention yesterday. Later on, he was transferred to the Colombo National Hospital this afternoon.
It was revealed at a media briefing held at the police headquarters today that investigations have confirmed that former President Ranil Wickremesinghe's foreign tour was a private tour and not a diplomatic one. The charges have been levelled regarding a financial misuse in this connection. DIG Attorney-at-Law Kalinga Jayasinghe has said that the investigations were conducted related to a foreign visit in which former President Ranil Wickremesinghe and 10 others took part on the September 22nd and 23rd, 2023. The police said that the former president and the group visited the United Kingdom on a private tour. A request was made by the President's Secretary to the IGP on the 23rd of May 2025 to conduct an investigation regarding this visit. The IGP handed over investigations to the Criminal Investigations Department. That investigation was commenced after the 23rd of May 2025 and thousands of documents and evidence from a large number of witnesses were collected by the police as a part of this investigation. DIG Kalinga Jayasinghe has said letters were exchanged between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Presidential Secretariat and the Sri Lankan High Commission in London in connection with this visit. He stressed that in every letter it was clearly mentioned that the President's visit was a private one. There was no state or diplomatic events in the agenda of this visit. It was confirmed by the investigators, DIG Kalinga Jayasinghe has said. A rough estimate of 40,445 sterling pounds was prepared and presented by the High Commission of Sri Lanka in London in connection with this visit. According to the estimate, this equals in Sri Lankan currency an amount of 16.27 million rupees. This amount was credited to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs by the Presidential Secretariat. As this was a part of a diplomatic tour, the value of the air tickets was not included in this amount. There was no diplomatic invitation for this visit and there was no official welcome held by the UK. At the same time, lodging and security facilities were not provided by the British government. According to investigations, it was confirmed that this visit was private. Therefore, the arrest of Ranil Wickremesinghe was as a result of this investigation on the charges of misuse of state funds. The arrest was made according to the provisions of Act No. 12 of 1982, the Public Property Act, which was amended as Act No. 28 of 1999. The clauses of the Penal Code 386, 308 and 398 were also used in the arrest of the former president.
Attorney at Law Professor Pratibha Mahanamaheva has disclosed facts to the media relating to the legality over the issue of arresting former President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
1978 Constitution, Article 35(1), subsection 1, very clear. According to 35, sub-article 1 say, any person who is holding the presidency, any criminal or civil offence done during that period get immunity. And according to 19th Amendment to the Constitution, Article 31, sub-article 1, any criminal process or any civil process cannot be conducted against a person who is holding the presidency for that period. So after retirement or even after sees that position of presidency can be constituted. And also it is very clear, 19th Amendment, even a president, executive president who is holding the president that period also can be fined if violated fundamental human rights. So it is very clear, a retired president or maybe a president who had hold the position and sees the president period can be instituted, investigate, take any statement or even file any action, criminal or civil, after his retirement. So at the period of the retirement, no case can be done. So this gives you a good procedure. Even any retired president in future may be in a position where anything done, criminal or civil, any offence if done, that cases can be conducted after their retirement, but fundamental human right violation in the period of that president also they can conduct them. So therefore there can be, this actually came from a B report, and then former president secretary and the former president private secretary actually gave a statement to the CID, which was taken the permission by magistrate court. So based on that, so there can be evidence. According to that evidence also this case is proceeding. So therefore we cannot say this is a violation of Constitution Article 35(1), and also this cannot be considered as arbitrary arrest because due process follow. So the only thing now, it can be go for a bail, and it's all depending on the fact both lawyers argue, and considering all these facts, the Honorable Magistrate will consider about granting bail according to the 1999 Bail Act.
Now, Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that the government has not mediated by any means in the arresting of former President Ranil Wickremesinghe. He points out that the law is being implemented equally and fairly on all citizens in the country. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the Criminal Investigation Department has reported facts and accordingly a judicial decision has been taken. The independence of the judiciary has been protected. The minister has further stated that the government did not intervene in this issue in any manner. The government has provided the opportunity to act against frauds and criminal activities in not only this incident but all criminal acts. The responsibility of the government is to facilitate the process. The judicial procedures pertaining to the incident of Ranil Wickremesinghe had flowed freely. He added that he believes this verdict had further strengthened the respect and honour of the citizens on the judiciary of the country. This incident reflects the fact that the law is applied equally on everybody.
It has been pointed out that the incident of arresting former President Ranil Wickremesinghe could be regarded as an instance of rapid propagation of malinformation and misinformation. The national television was engaged in a dialogue with several intellectuals in this connection. It has been witnessed how false information was socialized even prior to the conclusion of numerous stages in the illegal process connected to the Ranil Wickremesinghe incident. Many websites and social media by the latter part of last evening had published news items pertaining to former president being released on bail. Media in the mainstream had to exert strong effort to receive the correct information and to confirm such information.
We live in a world where the problem of false information is unprecedented. And the scale and the size of this problem has become so significant, mainly because we live in an AI-dominated world where content can be easily manipulated or misrepresented or completely distorted within seconds. This is the case during national calamities or disasters, or when there is an event that grabs a lot of media attention. We see a lot of mis and disinformation being circulated. What are mis and disinformation? Now that is also something that we have to really understand, because misinformation and disinformation are clearly different from each other. When there is false or inaccurate information that is shared without knowing that it is false, misinformation happens. On the contrary, disinformation occurs when false information is spread deliberately to mislead or manipulate or deceive people. But it's very difficult for us to speculate the objective, to know whether this was done deliberately or whether it was done unintentionally, and this is why researchers prefer the term information disorder to capture both misinformation and disinformation that are likely to amplify during those events that I just spoke of, that grab a lot of media attention. So what can we actually do to protect ourselves from this information disorder? There are at least 3 simple methods that we can follow. 1, we should always check whether the information that we have come across is substantiated by reliable multiple sources. We have to check whether they are coming from official agencies or whether they are coming from credible media platforms, and whether they are actually substantiated at least by multiple reliable sources. And one other step that we can also very easily follow is to check if these have already been fact-checked by reliable fact-checking platforms or organizations. And one other step that we can also follow is to pause before share. We have to stop and we have to check whether this information that we are going to share, especially across platforms such as WhatsApp, is actually true. If this information that you have come across is emotional or it carries shocking content, then it spreads fast and it can also very well be not correct or true information. So pause before sharing, pause before forwarding, and also we should always be quite critical when we are consuming information.
Under such complex environment, the state media is being entrusted with an extremely serious responsibility. The intellectuals had pointed out that the national television, which is bound by a parliamentary act on its national responsibility, had acted with great caution in this occasion as in such other instances.
The Colombo Magistrates Court has issued summons yesterday ordering former Governor of the Central Bank Arjun Mahendran to appear before the courts on the 26th of next month. The summons were issued upon consideration of a request made by the Bribery Commission by the Colombo Chief Magistrate Thanuja Lakmale Jayatunga. Arjun Mahendran is named as the suspect of the controversial Central Bond Scam of 2015. The judiciary has also been informed that summons issued last year for Mahendran to be present at the courts were not properly implemented. Accordingly, the Bribery Commission has requested the courts to take measures to issue summons to the suspect in English as well. The Colombo Chief Magistrate has acknowledged the request and has ordered to issue summons.
Sri Lanka's economy has shown many positive signs during its recovery process and heading towards remarkable achievements. This was stated by Professor Vasantha Tukorala of University of Peradeniya in an exclusive interview with Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation.
There are certain indicators that we can use to measure the economics changes. Now, say for example, GDP is one indicator, likewise inflation in the country and also government expenditure, government revenue, inflation on the other hand, and also we are having the interest rate and so on. There are so many indicators like that. Those things can be divided into two. One is some kind of money related indicator, other is the physical aspect related indicator. If you look at the physical or government role here, we can clearly see that government expenditure has decreased significantly, not decreased actually, the increase in rate is less now. That's a very good indicator. And also government income has increased significantly. Government income over the last 6 months has increased by approximately 25%, which is a very good indicator, right? At the same time, we can see we are maintaining very low level of inflation. Actually, monthly inflation we are having month to month is a deflation, right? Price level is decreasing. At the same time, we are maintaining a very good, stable exchange rate, around 300 rupees per dollar. If you look at all those indicators, we are in a particular stability. Our economy is in a particular stability. Trend is good, but this is a kind of temporary. This can be a temporary scenario, right? If you look at the long-term growth scenarios and so on. Now, this government came to power around 7-8 months ago. No, there is no enough time period to evaluate the performance of the government. However, what we can see that the country is moving forward. That is what we can see conclude at the moment.
In more local stories, the President of India-Sri Lanka Business Association, Santosh Menon, says that there is a positive environment for enhancing economic relations between India and Sri Lanka under the current geopolitical aspects. He made those comments in an exclusive interview with Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation following a special ceremony to mark the 79th Independence Day of India.
See, I think despite all the things that seems to be happening, you should look at the numbers on India. One of the ratings agencies actually has increased the rating of India in the last 1 week. So in reality, I think India's growth story is irreversible. It is always going to grow. So for me, this is the opportunity for Sri Lankans to really make use of the Indian opportunity and the Indian market and ensure that they grow with India's growth. This is the time for India and Sri Lanka to foster a close business relationship, unlike something that's never been done before.
Now, interviews pertaining to recruitment of officials to grade 3 of the management services are presently being conducted at the Ministry of Public Administration, provincial councils and local government. The special feature is that external recruitments to the public service are being conducted after 7 years. This is the first occasion of recruiting large groups of youth who fulfilled advanced level qualifications to the state service via external sources since 2018. Around 150,000 candidates had sat for a competitive examination conducted by the Department of Examination. Those who had received the highest pass marks in the examination were shortlisted for interviews. Accordingly, interviews are being conducted for the recruitment of 2,223 eligible candidates. The interviews, which commenced yesterday, are scheduled to be conducted tomorrow as well.
President of the Lanka Postal Employees Union, Jagat Mahinda, says that all work in the postal department could be commenced from next Monday. He reiterates that all must be responsible to provide an efficient postal service by resolving all problems within a government which listens to the grievances of the working class. President of the Lanka Postal Employees Union, Jagat Mahinda, has expressed hope over commencing all work of the postal department by next Monday. He added that government approval has been received to fulfill large number of vacancies in the postal department.
නිලධාරි ශ්‍රේණිවල උපතකල් ශ්‍රේණිවල අනිෂ්ඨකාර මණ්ඩල ශ්‍රේණිවල දැවන්ත පුරප්පාඩු තිබුණා. අද වෙනකොට ඒ පුරප්පාඩු සියල්ලම අද පුරව ගන්න තැනට අද ඒ කටයුතු කරගෙන තියෙනවා. කැබිනට් මණ්ඩල අනුමැතිය අපි ලබාගෙන තියෙනවා. ජනතාවට හොඳ ගුණාත්මක තැපල් සේවයක් කරන ඉක්මන් තැපල් සේවයක් දෙන්න අපි එකතු වෙලා වැඩ කරමු කියන එක තමයි පිල්ලා සිටින්නේ.
He added that delivery of mail was carried out without obstructions despite the fact that a work stoppage was conducted yesterday as well. Jagat Mahinda said that mail delivery to Jaffna has resumed since yesterday. He added that in the morning mail deliveries to Polonnaruwa and Batiklo took place.
ඒ වැඩ කටයුතු ක්‍රමානුකූලව වර්ජනයේ දිනවල ඒවා ක්‍රියාත්මක කරගත්තා. ආණ්ඩුව වශයෙන් හොඳට මැදිහත් වීමක් කළා. ඒ සියල්ල අද ඉටු කර තිබෙනවා. අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා තැපෑල සඳුදා දින වෙනකොට හොඳින් ආරම්භ කරගැනීමේ වටපිටාව දැන් සකස් වෙමින් තියෙනවා.
The Lanka Postal Services Union, in a letter represented to Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa today, has requested a discussion with the striking trade unions. The unions have already agreed with the government's policy regarding 2 issues out of the 19 demands that led to the strike. The union has further requested for talks without delay in order to end the trade union action after taking into consideration of the remaining 17 demands.
Now, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that the need for fostering a sports culture in schools that prioritizes the physical and mental well-being of students devoid of competitiveness should be met. The Prime Minister emphasized the importance of ensuring equal opportunities for every student to participate in sports. Officials of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs held a discussion with the Minister of Education, Higher Education and Vocational Education, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, recently at the Parliamentary Complex regarding the ways to promote school sports and resolving existing issues in the respective sector. During the discussion, attention was drawn to the need for building a stronger collaboration between the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports in order to address prevailing issues related to school sports as well as licensing issues faced by sports associations, challenges faced by sports coaches and the development of sports schools. The discussion was attended by the Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs Sunil Kumar Gamage, Deputy Minister Sugat Tilakaratne, Deputy Minister of Higher Education Madhura Senaviratne, along with other officials. And that's all the stories from home. Stay tuned for foreign news coming up next.
கவனமா போயிட்டீங்க தானே?
குழந்தைய பாக்குற வேலைன்னு சொன்னாலும் 7-8 குடும்பங்களோட எல்லா வேலையும் நான் செய்ய வேண்டியிருக்கு. நாங்க ஏமாந்துட்டோம். நினைச்சதை விட இங்க வேலை கஷ்டமா இருக்கு. மகன் என்ன தேடுறானா?
அம்மா நல்லா இருக்காங்க தானே?
எனக்கு இந்த மாசம் சம்பளம் கூட தரல. நான் அதை கேட்ட நேரம் என்ன ரொம்ப மோசமா அடிச்சாங்க. கொஞ்சம் அந்த ஏஜென்சிக்கு கதைச்சு பாக்குறீங்களா?
அது ஒரு போலி ஏஜென்சி வசந்தி. அது இப்போ அந்த இடத்திலேயே இல்ல. எங்களை கூட்டிட்டு போன விமல் அண்ணாவும் இல்ல.
இதுக்கு மேல என்னால சத்தியமா தாங்கிக்க முடியல. எனக்கு உங்ககிட்ட திரும்ப வரணும். இத நாங்க யாருக்கிட்ட சொல்லலாம்?
மனித விற்பனையில் ஈடுபடுதல், அதனை ஆதரித்தல் பாரிய குற்றமாகும். பாதுகாப்பான ஒரு தேசத்திற்காக விழிப்புடன் நாம். நீங்கள்
நாம் அனைவரும் நாம் இருக்கும் இடத்திலிருந்து ஒரு படி மேலே செல்லவே முயற்சி செய்கின்றோம். பல கனவுகளை சுமந்த வண்ணம் வெளிநாட்டுக்கு சென்றது வாழ்க்கையில் வெற்றி பெறலாம் என்று நினைத்துக் கொண்டு. ஆனால் ஆராய்ந்து பார்க்காமல் நாங்கள் தேர்வு செய்த பாதை பிழைத்து போனது. சமூக வலைத்தளங்களுக்கூடாக குற்றங்களை செய்ய நிர்பந்திக்கப்பட்டோம். எவரது பாதுகாப்புமற்ற ஓரிடத்தில் இணைய குற்றவாளிகளுக்கு நான் இரையாகிவிட்டேன். யாருமே அந்த கஷ்டத்தை அனுபவிக்க கூடாது.
மனித விற்பனையில் ஈடுபடுதல், அதனை ஆதரித்தல் பாரிய குற்றமாகும். பாதுகாப்பான ஒரு தேசத்திற்காக விழிப்புடன் நாம். நீங்கள்
வாக்குறுதிகளும் நம்ப கூடியதும் இல்ல. வழிகாட்ட முன்வார எல்லாரும் நல்லவங்களும் இல்ல. எங்க கனவெல்லாம் பயன்படுத்தி சிலர் நாங்க நினைக்காத அளவு எங்களை அணுக முயற்சிக்கிறாங்க. ஒரு அழகான சிரிப்புக்கு பின்னால நிறைய தீய விஷயங்கள் ஒளிஞ்சிருந்தது. அதை நான் புரிஞ்சு கொள்ளும் போது அவர் என்னை ஏற்கனவே விலை பேசி கொடுத்துட்டார். இதை நான் யார்கிட்ட சொல்வேன்? இதுல இருந்து எப்படி நான் தப்பிப்பேன்?
மனித விற்பனையில் ஈடுபடுதல், அதனை ஆதரித்தல் பாரிய குற்றமாகும். பாதுகாப்பான ஒரு தேசத்திற்காக விழிப்புடன் நாம். நீங்கள்
Welcome back. And on foreign news for tonight, the collapse of an under-constructed railway bridge over a major river in China has killed at least 12 workers and left 4 others missing, state media reports said. Aerial photos from the official Xinhua news agency show a large section missing from the bridge's curved aquamarine arch. A bent section of the bridge deck hangs downwards into the Yellow River below. 16 workers were on the bridge in northwest China's Shanghai province when a steel cable snapped at about 3 a.m. on Friday during a tensioning operation. Boats, a helicopter and robots were being used in the search for the missing.
அழகா இருக்க எங்களுக்கும் ஆசைதான். ஆனா எங்களுக்கும் யாராவது இருந்திருந்தா. வயசு பிள்ளைங்க பாடசாலைக்கு போய் படிக்க இல்ல, கடையில கஷ்டப்பட்டு வேலை செய்ய வேண்டியிருக்கு. நானும் ஒரு சின்ன பிள்ளை. எங்களை வீதியில தள்ளி விட்டப்போ தடுக்கிறதுக்கு யாருமே இருக்கல.
ஹலோ, மனித விற்பனைக்கு எதிரான தேசிய செயலணி.
மனித விற்பனையில் ஈடுபடுதல், அதனை ஆதரித்தல் பாரிய குற்றமாகும். பாதுகாப்பான ஒரு தேசத்திற்காக விழிப்புடன் நாம். நீங்கள்
கவனமா போயிட்டீங்க தானே?
குழந்தைய பாக்குற வேலைன்னு சொன்னாலும் 7-8 குடும்பங்களோட எல்லா வேலையும் நான் செய்ய வேண்டியிருக்கு. நாங்க ஏமாந்துட்டேன். நினைச்சதை விட இங்க வேலை கஷ்டமா இருக்கு. மகன் என்ன தேடுறானா?
அம்மா நல்லா இருக்காங்க தானே?
எனக்கு இந்த மாசம் சம்பளம் கூட தரல. நான் அதை கேட்ட நேரம் என்ன ரொம்ப மோசமா அடிச்சாங்க. கொஞ்சம் அந்த ஏஜென்சிக்கு கதைச்சு பாக்குறீங்களா?
அது ஒரு போலி ஏஜென்சி வசந்தி. அது இப்போ அந்த இடத்திலேயே இல்ல. எங்களை கூட்டிட்டு போன விமல் அண்ணாவும் இல்ல.
இதுக்கு மேல என்னால சத்தியமா தாங்கிக்க முடியல. எனக்கு உங்ககிட்ட திரும்ப வரணும். இத நாங்க யாருக்கிட்ட சொல்லலாம்?
மனித விற்பனையில் ஈடுபடுதல், அதனை ஆதரித்தல் பாரிய குற்றமாகும். பாதுகாப்பான ஒரு தேசத்திற்காக விழிப்புடன் நாம். நீங்கள்
And on sports news for tonight, the captain of the Sri Lanka cricket team, Charith Asalanka, says the upcoming cricket series against the Zimbabwe team is a warm-up exercise for the Asian Cup tournament.
He has made these remarks to the media upon departure for the tournament at the Sri Lankan cricket. The Sri Lankan team posed for an official photograph before leaving the island. The Zimbabwe cricket tour is comprised of 2 one-day matches and 3 T20 matches. The first ODI is scheduled to be conducted on the 29th and the second one-day match on the 31st. Both matches will be commenced in Harare at 1 p.m. Sri Lanka time. The 3 T20 matches will get underway on the 3rd, 6th and 7th next month.
And that's all the news we have for today. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.